Hi everyone, I hope this video finds you well. So today we will get to know together parts of the computer. So this is a course about programming. But while this is a course about programming and it's about creating the software that runs on hardware, we cannot simply ignore the hardware completely, right? So we need to know about how software runs on a machine to write efficient, usable programs. So this is a very brief discussion on the basics of the basic components of a computer. So computer hardware. Hardware refers to all the physical devices. A computer consists of many pieces of hardware that all work together. Each piece of hardware does its own work. So a typical computer system contains of the following: the CPU, the main memory, a secondary storage devices, input devices, and output devices. So let's get to see what is each of those. The CPU, the brain of the computer. It's acronym to the Central Processing Unit. So basically, this is the part that runs the programs. As you see, processing. So this is the part that process programs. So today's CPUs are microprocessors. And I believe in the future in the computer, they are going to be nanoprocessors. Right now in your phone, there is a nano chip, right? So commonly used CPU vendors are Intel and AMD. Those are the most famous maybe. The CPU, here is the CPU. This is what you see is basically the heat sink. Beneath that is the processor. So the central processing unit carries out the instructions of a computer program by performing the following operations: basic arithmetic operations, logical operations, control operations, input-output operations. So this term CPU has been used in the computer industry at least since the early 60s. Traditionally, the term CPU refers to two combined things: processing unit and control unit. Control unit, the PU and the CU. So they mainly said it's basically the central processing unit, including the control. So the main memory, when we talk about the main memory, we are talking about RAM. Always, main memory, RAM. The computer's work area, where the computer loads both instructions of the program and the data that will be processed. Both the instruction, the program itself, and the data that program is using. Commonly known as RAM. RAM is random access memory. Random access memory. So basically, this is designed for CPUs to quickly access data stored at any random location in the RAM. And they're volatile type of memory, meaning whenever you power off the machine or shut the machine down, the contents in the RAM are lost and you won't get them back. Because of that, we need something that we store information on and we get to keep those information. This is where we have the secondary storage devices. Devices that can hold data for long periods of time, even when the power is off. Where important data and system files are stored, most commonly used in the disk drive, which stores data by magnetically encoding it into a circular disk, changing to solid-state drives. Optical devices such as DVD-ROMs, CD-ROMs are also popular. USB devices. are small devices that plug into a USB port. Those all are secondary storage devices. And previously, before all this, there were tapes. So in comparison of data access time, so the time to access the level 1 of cache, so basically you have the CPU, then cache, then RAM, then your hard drive. So level 1 of cache, it's like takes about 2 nanoseconds. If you're going to compare that from Everett Community College, it could be like up to Xfinity area. Level 2 of cache, about 10 nanoseconds. It's kind of up to Painfields, from Everett Community College to Painfields. Level 3, about 20, up to when you get to regular hard drive, it's about 8,500,000 nanoseconds. So input devices, what do you think? What do you have of input devices? Input devices, input is any data the computer collects for people and devices. The devices we are using to get inputs, those devices that collect the data and send them to the computer are called input devices. Commonly used input devices are the keyboard, mice, scanners, microphones, digital cameras, and many, many new input devices. As the time progresses, the number and the type of input devices is going to continue to increase. So a bonus question, who invented the mouse? Write a few lines about who invented the mouse and the assignment page of that bonus question in Canvas. And you will get extra points. Output devices. What do you think about it? Output devices. Output is any data the computer produces for people or devices. The device that generates output for a computer is called output device. Commonly used output devices, video plays, video displays, speakers, printers, and many, many others right now. Again, as the time progresses, the number and type of output devices is going to continue to increase as well. It's like input devices. So software, yes, software is not a component of the computer, but it's always important to understand what a software is. So categorized mainly into system software and application software. System software are programs that control and manage the basic operations of a computer. Subcategories of the system software would be the operating system, Windows, Linux, macOS, and all these things. Utility programs that would facilitate the operations of the computer. The software development tools, like the IDE you're using to create a program, like Visual Studio. Application software are programs that perform a special task, like the Office suite, games, chat programs, and all these things. So the last piece of this lecture is an explanation homework. Explain the major parts of computer to two different people. Be sure to discuss all major parts and provide examples. Ask them what parts of the explanation they were not clear enough for them. And always remember why we are doing these things. Always. Here is the goal of the explain assignment that prepares you for your exam, makes you a better speaker to both technical and non-technical people, and all these things. Here is tips and assignments to explain. We have seen these things in previous lectures just to make sure that you understand why we are doing them. That's it for today. See you in the next one.